Can Bitcoin and Litecoin remain bullish? What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. Hope everybody's having a fabulous Monday. What a day yesterday, huh? We're going to take a look at the charts, see if we can go higher. We're going to take a look at Litecoin first and then Bitcoin. And then stick around to the end of the video, especially if you're new here and you haven't seen it yet. We're going to compare the Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart. Very interesting, guys. Seems to be playing out beautifully. So you don't want to miss that. Definitely stick around to the end and check it out. I also want to give you guys a reminder, we have a free Discord community. There is a link to that in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. Everything's free. We don't charge for anything. The guys in there are growing quickly on their charting skills. It's just a great community. Everybody helps everybody out. So definitely check that out. Also, there's some other links down there that help the channel out. If you want to support the channel, there's an ABRA link. You can make an ABRA deposit and you get a free $25 worth of Bitcoin. I've noticed quite a few people have been doing that lately. There's also a Coinbase link that if you make a deposit in Coinbase, you get $10 worth of free Bitcoin. So definitely don't forget to check that out. Also, guys, there's a Ledger link in there. If you don't have a hard wallet, I suggest you get one. Ledger is a good place to get it. There's a link to that below the description. Keep your crypto safe. Keep it off the exchanges if you're not trading. So check that out. Also, Brave browser. If you guys don't like watching the commercials and all that stuff on the videos and all the ads on other stuff, definitely check out Brave browser. It's awesome. It's fast. I recommend it. So anyways, let's get into the video. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind that it's still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, hit the subscribe button on the lower right-hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed. Tick the notification bell. That'll get you notified when I post new videos, as I do post every day. That way you don't miss out on anything. Smash the likes, guys, and leave your comments in the comment section down below. That'll also get you entered to win a free t-shirt Sunday. We do a drawing of a random comment every Sunday. So, all right, we're going to get into the charts. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's been subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. We reached 2,600 subscribers today. That's awesome. You guys rock. Keep it up. Keep sharing the videos. Get them out there. This is awesome. So I want to thank you guys for that. But let's look at Litecoin on the weekly. You've been watching my videos last week. We've been watching this, the 55 EMA and the 21 EMA about to cross, bullish cross. We did get it on the weekly. So I am still bullish here, definitely. We're going to take a look at the daily chart now. And looking at the daily, we'll look at the bearish scenario first, like always. And then we'll take a look at the bullish scenario. I do have an even higher target here I want to point out to you guys. So let's take a look. All right, so we were looking at this as a cup and handle from this line. I'm going to get rid of this one now. Obviously we hit that target, but we were looking at this cup and handle here with the neckline right around the 108, and the measured move of the breakout of this, which I believe is what we're doing now, is 192 range. So that's still definitely a possibility here, guys. Also, let's look at the RSI on the daily. As you can see, still in this rising channel, getting resistance or support on the bottom, resistance on the top. We had this kind of bearish bear trap here, but we're still within a good range inside this, so still looking good. Let's look at the 4 hour now. This is going to be kind of messy, guys, but if you've been following along with the videos, you know what I'm doing here. And we had this long channel here, the falling channel, which we were in since March sometime. We had a falling wedge in here, which we broke out of, broke up into a falling channel, broke out of that falling channel into another one, broke out of that. Now we if you look at these blue lines, we have a rising channel here that we're within. We had kind of a bear trap here, but we're still within it. If we zoom in here a little bit, looks like our RSI may get support on this line. So we're going to take a look at the price action and see what's going on with that. All right, so first, like always, we're going to take a look at the bearish scenario. So we're ready for both scenarios. But like I said, I'm still pretty bullish here. I believe we're going to continue up. We may get some sort of little retracement, but maybe not much. Anyways, our target hit yesterday dead on 116. So I'm going to get that off of here now since we did hit it, so we can kind of clean up the charts just a little bit. I will leave this here as a possible new support once we break through. So that was just a measured move of this flagpole here, looking at this as a bull flag, and that's where we got. So now let's, like I said, we'll take a look at the bearish scenario, and we could come back down. Let me move this line up a little bit. We could come back down, guys, and test this trend line here for support around the $100 range. You know, we could come back down before continuing up. So keep that in mind. But I do believe it's possible we may continue up from here. And first, if we were to break through this, then I'm going to move this target up and actually going to stretch this. This is a rising broadening wedge or ascending broadening wedge. And just going to kind of guess in this area. But if we were to break down through here, through this trend line, our next support is the bottom of this wedge, which is possible. So keep that in mind, maybe around the $90 range. And then if that doesn't hold, this channel here, the top would be our support over here around the $61 range, somewhere in there. And if that doesn't hold, you know, worst case scenario, this is the long-term trend line from where we bottomed out over here, around the $53 range. But again, guys, I don't see that happening. I just want to point that out, that it is possible, so you do watch out for it. Now, I do have some pretty wild targets here that we're going to look at now. So first off, looking at this as a rising wedge and the blue lines here, if we were, well, first off, my next target, guys, is this $145 range, which is, let me zoom. Sorry about that. Let me zoom in a little bit. Is the trend line I drew off these three peaks here. There's three touches on it coming up here. We almost tapped it here. But if we meet, that's where the top of this rising wedge and this trend line up here, the white one from long term, meets. So that's my next target, is $145, guys. Like I said, we could come back down, do a little correction, and then bounce up. But I do believe we're going to probably most likely continue up to there. Like I said, we seem to be getting support on that RSI right in this range. So let's see what happens there. But now let's look at a bigger, if we were to take the move off of this rising wedge, measure of where we would break out, which that's if we get above this 145. Once we hit it, that measured move would be up to the 192 range. So, well, actually it'd be higher. That's around the $200 range. But I do have an even bigger one, which is possible, guys. As crazy as it sounds, we would do a measured move using this top white line as a rising wedge off of this bottom line. And the measured move off of that is right around the $240 range, guys. So definitely something to look out for. We could be heading up there. There's no telling yet. But as of right now, my next target is this $145 range, guys. Like I said, we may do a small correction before then, but I do believe we're most likely going to head up to this 145. So definitely keep an eye on that. Yeah, this 167 target, that's the one we've been looking at for quite some time off the old cup and handle. So obviously that would be after the 145, but my next target now, guys, is the 145. So let's look at Bitcoin on the weekly. Same thing. we got our weekly tick and getting our bullish cross here at the 55 EMA and the 21 EMA, which is bullish. So let's look at the daily chart and take a look at what I'm seeing now. As you can see, I got a new target up here at over 10,000. So we're going to take a look at what's going on. All right. Excuse me. We're looking at this as a cup and handle down here with the neckline. Whoops. With the neckline at 5,600, and the measured move off that was that 8,400 right here, which hit. So obviously our target hit yesterday, actually went a little above. We had the target at 182 or 88.32. I'm going to get rid of that now. And let's take a look at other possibilities here. Now my next target is this 96.22, which I believe we're headed up to now. And that's a measured move of, if we look at the yellow lines here and we do a measurement of where it broke out, would be here. And the measured move would be this line right here, which would get us to the 96.22 range. Now, real quick, I am going to take a look at the next highest target, which would be measuring this as a bull flag off of this triangle here. This would be the bull flag. This would be the flag pull. And if we move that up to where we broke out, it gets us right up to the 10,600, 10,700 range, guys. Definitely a possibility. Keep your eyes open. We will take a look at the bearish scenario too, so we know what we could be expecting. First off, let's go into the RSI. All right, looking at the RSI. Yesterday we were down here. We bounced off of this bottom trend line and we're touching this. And I said if we broke through there, that would give us a nice move up. Boom, it happened. So my next target, we could come down possibly, guys, and test this for support one more time and come up here. And that may be like a triple top up here. Like I said, that could be anywhere between the 9,600 and the 10,600 range, and then possibly come back down and for a correction or continue up. But definitely keep an eye on this, because that's when the correction will come, and I don't believe it's going to be as bad as everybody thinks. The higher we go, the higher the correction is going to be up. So I wouldn't be getting all paranoid, especially if you're holding. But anyways, now let's take a look at the 4 hour and see what that's showing us in the RSI. Now this is very messy, I understand, but I want to, like I said, I keep the lines here to kind of go through it and show people, especially that are new. This was a rising wedge. First of all, we have a long-term, these two yellow lines are long-term trend lines from a rising channel, which we've stayed in since back in November. So anyways, and then right here, the two white lines, you look, we had a rising wedge, which we fell out of here. And then if you look here, this was a falling channel, which we broke out of here, tested the top for support a few times, and came in here. And yesterday, we were right, zoom in a little bit, we were right here. And I was looking at this as a rising wedge, which you usually break up, and we did. So now look, I have, let me get rid of this, get this out of here. Kind of clean it up a little bit. I just wanted to leave the lines there so I could explain what I was seeing to you guys. So bear with me. All right. Now we seem to be looking at either a rising wedge, or this could be moved down over here to that peak, down to here. That could be a rising wedge, but I do believe I'm going to stick with this here as a possible rising wedge. Sorry guys, but anyway, possibility of coming back down, testing this line before continuing up, but I do believe we're just going to come down a little and come back up, test this again, and maybe test the bottom of this rising wedge right here in the white, which would also come up to match up with this peak. So let's take a look at the price action. Get back in here. Sorry, I'm feeling a little goofy this weekend, so it might be kind of hard to keep up with me, guys. But if you belong to the Discord, everybody in there knows what's going on, so definitely check it out. All right, back to these targets we were just talking about. As you can see, we took off that target of 88 because obviously we hit it. We were watching this as a falling wedge. I'm going to get rid of that because that already played out. And then we were looking at this as a falling channel, which we broke out of. And if we do a measured move of that falling channel, whoops, this was off of the wedge. That's what got us the 8,800. So I'm going to get rid of that. And if we did a measured move out of this channel, boom, that got us up to our target up here. And that's why I had the target at 88. Obviously, we did wick through it. Next is we take measured move off this old channel that has been very significant in following the price, and do a measured move up. That gets me to the 93.58 range, guys. And like I said, I do see us most likely coming up to this 96.22, and then obviously possibly up to this 10,006 to 10,700 range, guys. Believe it or not, that's what I'm looking at. But first off, looking at the 93.50 and see how it reacts, and then 96.22. Now, if you remember yesterday when I had said, if, you know, I had this 86.14, or, you know, like I said, these numbers aren't exact, but I had the 86 marked because that was the top of this channel. And we did hit it, got resistance, and then broke through. And I had said yesterday, let me get that off there. If we broke through, we were most likely going to come back down and test this before continuing up. And I think that's probably what's going to happen. So I'm looking at, you know, the 86.30 range, somewhere in there, possibly a little bit lower. It may wick down through it, but that's if we, you know, this is the correction here, and then continue up. Now we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart. And I'm going to zoom into that too and show you what I think may be happening with the correction when it does come. So anyways, look at the comparison here. I drew a line from each peak to where it broke down at 6,000. And then when we zoom in here in a little bit, you'll see each one of these lines started off as resistance and became support when we were coming up through them. Now, I'm going to show you the gold weekly chart and look at the comparison. I love patterns, and it's definitely following the same pattern. So check it out. Hope you guys can see that. But that's where we're at now. I do believe, you know, like I had said before, right here in gold, the gold ETF was approved, and you can see what happened. So those that say the ETF won't help Bitcoin, I think that's crazy, because it definitely will help Bitcoin. Do I think it's going to get approved? I'm leaning towards yes. If not, there's going to be some other huge news. Like I said before, if you guys watch my channel, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. There's some huge news coming, guys, I'm telling you. But I do want to also point out, watch this yellow line when we go back over to Bitcoin, and this is what my end of the year call is. 46,000 may go higher, but I'm looking at the 46,000 range. I know it's a bold statement, but that's what I'm seeing, guys. Yeah. And if you look at how gold bottomed here, it had two touches on this bottom trend line, and then, you know, bounced up from there. And if we look at Bitcoin, the exact same thing, two touches on the bottom, and then, you know, up from here, guys. So let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to show you how each one of those trend lines that I drew from the peaks to where it broke down started off as resistance and became support all the way up. Same thing here. Now, was this the test of this line, this wick here? That's quite possible. But I do believe, guys, after this move, let's take a, you know, they're calling for, they were saying 30 to 40% correction. Now he's saying, certain guys are saying 40 to 50% correction. But like I said, if you look at those targets I just gave you guys, say we went up to the 96, right? If we did a measured move off that to come back down and test this trend line, that would be a 45% correction. And that would get us to, and again, that's if we go to 96, and that would get us to about the 6,600 $6,700 range, guys. So I heard a guy this morning with a lot of followers talking about, if you're listening to somebody that says you'll never see below 6,000 again, you're crazy. I'm crazy because I don't think we're ever going to see below 6,000 again, guys. So call me crazy, whatever. But what I think is crazy is the hyperwave bullshit theory, because if you look at this sure looks a lot like Bitcoin. Would have been a hyperwave. This should have went down to 50 bucks, but it didn't, because hyperwave is bullshit. And if you want to know my opinion of it, there's a video. If you go into my YouTube channel, there's a video right in the front. It's me just talking and telling you what I think is going on with that, you know, hyperwave shit. So anyways, going back into here now, if we were to go up to the 10,006 area, this would be a 60% correction. But if we get up that high, I don't think our correction will be that much. Our correction may only be back down to the 8,000 area. So anyways, I'm just kind of showing you guys what I'm seeing. Also, I want to look into the RSI. If you haven't seen it, this is pretty interesting also. Excuse me. As you can see in the RSI here, this is the 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. This is the 2017 bull market followed by the bear market. And as you can see, you have these trend lines drawn. We had 2 resistance and then boom, got through. Same thing over here in 2018 bear market. 2 points of resistance and then boom, up through. I know people are saying we're oversold, overbought. We can go up higher in this overbought, but if you can see what happens when it does get overbought, we are in a bull market, guys. I'm 99.9999% sure. Like I said, that's my opinion. So, but anyway, you can see what happened over here. If we go into the price action, I'll put it in log, and we kind of see that it's not that scary when, you know, we're oversold here like that. Because if you look at the corrections when we're oversold, they're not that huge, guys. And that was a beautiful bull market, and I believe this one's going to be beautiful too. It's going to be a great year for Bitcoin. So back to this, let's look at the monthly RSI, and I'll show you. And mind you guys, I've been looking at this since January, and you can look back at my old videos, and you know, we've been calling this together all the way to now from the bottom at 30, 31, 20, somewhere in that area. So anyways, 2013 bull market, 2018 bull market, followed by the bear market. Each one of these arrows represents a low, new low in the RSI. We had 4 of them before the bull market began. Same thing in 2018. The only difference here, guys, is I believe this arc on this one is going to be a lot quicker. So yeah, that's about it. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. There's a Crypto Savvy logo on my head. You can tap that. That'll get you subscribed. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes. Leave your comments, guys. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you tomorrow.